The glass wasn't reflecting anymore. Rachel had only been inside the house for 20 minutes when she noticed the mirror wasn't working. It wasn't cracked or dirty. It simply didn't reflect anything. Not the light from the hallway. Not the door behind her. Not even her own face. Instead, it was black, thick and endless, like staring into a bottomless pit made of glass. At first, she thought it was a trick of the lighting. She tilted her head left, right, even leaned close enough for her breath to fog the surface. But there was nothing. Just void. Then something moved behind the glass. She jumped back. Her heart thudded in her ears. The bathroom was silent, except for the ticking faucet and her uneven breathing. She didn't want to look again, but something, curiosity, maybe guilt, pulled her forward. She looked. This time, her reflection was back, but it wasn't right. Rachel's mirror self smiled slowly, even though she wasn't smiling at all. Her lips, in real life, were pressed tight, but in the glass, her teeth gleamed, wide and unnatural. And then, she noticed the eyes, hollow, just sockets. Her scream caught in her throat. A drop of water hit the sink, then another. But the tap wasn't running. She glanced down. Red streaks lined the porcelain. Not water, blood. She spun around to flee, but something about the mirror surface shimmered like it rippled. She froze. In that moment, the silence cracked. A faint whisper. "You came back." Rachel stumbled back and slammed the bathroom door shut. She shoved a nearby hallway chair under the doorknob. Her hands trembled as she pulled her phone from her pocket. No signal. A vibration buzzed in her hand. A message appeared on the screen. From Emily, deceased. Did you look into it again? Rachel dropped the phone. Her skin went cold. That name, Emily, hit her like a punch to the chest. Younger sister, dead, 6 months. The reason she was here. The reason she couldn't sleep. The reason she couldn't forgive herself. 5 days earlier, Rachel hadn't been back to their childhood home since Emily died. It stood at the end of a lonely street in a forgotten Pennsylvania town, shrouded in autumn fog and rotting leaves. The porch creaked like it still recognized her weight, groaning under the pressure of the past. She told herself she came to sell the place. The bank needed paperwork, a probate hearing, a signature. But truthfully, Rachel came for closure, for answers. Emily had been found dead in the upstairs bathroom. Slipped, the coroner said. Trauma to the head, accidental, but something didn't sit right with Rachel. Emily had called her 3 times the week before she died. Scared, paranoid. "There's something in the mirror, Ratch. It watches me when I sleep. Please come." Rachel hadn't answered. Too busy, too tired, too full of excuses. And then Emily was gone. The morning after the funeral, Rachel had received a package. No sender listed. Inside, a Polaroid. It showed the bathroom mirror. In the photo, a girl stood in the reflection, face hidden in shadows. It wasn't Emily. Rachel had buried it in a drawer, but she couldn't bury the guilt. Present day, the upstairs hallway was suffocating. Every floorboard moaned under her step like it remembered old arguments, laughter, tears. Her room was untouched, dust-coated, but familiar. Emily's door, however, was ajar, and inside, completely clean. Too clean, no dust, no cobwebs, tie, not even the faint smell of mildew, like someone had been keeping it ready. A diary sat on the nightstand. Rachel hesitated, then opened it. Entry from 2 days before Emily's death. I covered the mirror again. But it doesn't help. At night, it pulls the sheet down itself. I saw Mom in it last night, but Mom's been dead 10 years. She asked me why I left her behind. Why didn't I drown too? Rachel's stomach twisted. Their mother had died in a car crash. No drowning. Another. Entry. Rachel doesn't believe me. She thinks I'm spiraling. But it's real. It's not a mirror. It's a door. That night, Rachel couldn't sleep. She moved a dresser in front of her bedroom door and left the hallway light on. Still, at 3:33 a.m., she awoke, not from sound, from silence. Complete, unnatural silence. No creaking wood, no wind, no heartbeat then. Her phone lit up. Another message. From Emily. Why did you look? Now it remembers you. A crash came from the hallway. Rachel bolted upright. She grabbed the baseball bat she had placed beside the bed, her only weapon, a childhood relic. She inched the door open and looked. The hallway mirror was uncovered. She knew she had left it, draped in cloth. Her reflection stared back, then blinked. Rachel hadn't blinked. Flashback. The last call. Rachel had deleted the voicemail, but it still replayed in her head. Please come. It's not me in the mirror anymore. She hadn't believed her, just like she hadn't believed their mother when she talked about hearing voices in the walls. Just like she hadn't believed her father when he claimed the house grew colder at night, no matter how high the thermostat was turned. Rachel had always been the rational one, but the rational explanations were running out. Present 2:17. A.M. Rachel sat on the hallway floor, eyes locked on the mirror, her breath fogged in front of her, though the heater roared beside her. She lifted her phone again, maybe to record, maybe to call someone, but something caught her eye in the reflection. A small red shape. Words. They were written backward, smeared in what looked like lipstick, but when she reversed the phone camera, she read it clearly. You let her die. Trade places. She stared. Heart thudded in her ears. Then movement. The reflection showed a girl standing behind her. Long hair, pale dress, blood-streaked forehead. Rachel turned around. No one was there. She looked back into the mirror. The girl was closer now, standing just inches from the glass, staring into her soul. Rachel whispered, Emily. The girl smiled, but it wasn't Emily's smile. It was wide. It's too wide. The lips cracked at the edges, its teeth like broken glass. The first real encounter. Rachel ran. Down the stairs, out the front door, into the night. She didn't grab a jacket or shoes, just ran. The cold bit into her feet like knives. She made it to the end of the driveway before she stopped. The house, it wasn't behind her, anymore. Only forest, dense, silent forest where the street should be. She spun in circles. No mailbox, no porch, just trees. A fog rolled in slowly, swallowing everything. A whisper brushed her ear. You're not leaving until you say goodbye. Trade places. The shard glinted in the moonlight, what should have been moonlight. But the sky above the forest was blank. No stars, no clouds, no sound. Just a reflection of Rachel's wide eyes staring back from the broken glass. Emily held, except it wasn't Emily. Not anymore. Rachel took a shaky step backward, her bare feet scraping against cold, damp soil. Every part of her screamed to run, but her body stayed rooted, frozen by guilt, terror, and something deeper, recognition. This wasn't just a spirit. It was Emily, but also not. Her features were soft, broken, twisted by something that went beyond death. Her mouth quivered as though she were trying to speak, but when she did, the voice was not her own. One must stay, or many will fall. The words weren't shouted or whispered. They vibrated through the air like a current, making Rachel's bones ache. The mirror shard dripped blood. Rachel's eyes flicked to it. Her own face stared back from its surface, but it wasn't doing what she was doing. It smiled. Then the shard fell. Rachel gasped as Emily collapsed, her ghostly figure crumpling like a puppet cut from its strings. The forest dissolved. Trees crumbled into ash. The soil turned to mist, and suddenly Rachel was back on the bathroom floor, breathing hard. Sweat clung to her skin. The lights flickered overhead. She turned toward the mirror. It was covered again with the cloth. nailed into the frame just like before. Had she passed out? She checked her phone. 4:04 a.m. She had been out for less than an hour, but her feet were muddy and a cut on her palm fresh. She stared at it, trembling. A splinter of glass stuck out. She pulled it free, and as she did, a voice echoed through the walls. "It's your turn now." The history uncovered. The next morning, Rachel couldn't bring herself to look at the mirror again. She poured herself coffee with shaking hands and sat at the dusty kitchen table, staring blankly. She knew she was losing it. But the pain in her hand, the dried mud on the floor, the voicemail on her phone, all real. She opened Emily's diary. Again, flipping to the final page. It wasn't in Emily's handwriting. 2 sisters, 1 path, 1 believed. 1 didn't. The mirror doesn't forget. It remembers her lies, and it waits for yours. That line sent ice through Rachel's spine. She remembered something vaguely. Their mother had a fear of mirrors. She'd drape sheets over them whenever someone got sick. She'd whispered strange prayers under her breath. As a child, Rachel laughed it off. Emily had believed, always too sensitive, always seeing things that weren't there. Rachel suddenly needed answers. She drove straight to the town library. The librarian's warning. The library smelled like mildew and old secrets. Behind a desk sat a gray-haired woman with horn-rimmed glasses and a face that had forgotten how to smile. Rachel asked, "Do you have anything on the Parker Street house? Or mirror-related legends?" The woman didn't blink. "Okay, the house where Emily Carter died." Rachel nodded, stunned. "You? No." The librarian slowly stood. "Follow me." She led Rachel to a locked drawer, pulling out a thin red file. It wasn't labeled, marked with a symbol, 2 overlapping circles with a jagged crack between them. The woman hesitated. "Some says the place, others says it's the mirror. Either way, people don't last long after they see it. It's the ones who survive." Her eyes looked distant. "They're never the same." Rachel opened the folder. Newspaper clippings, missing persons, deaths, all tied to the same property over the last 70 years. One stuck out. 1956, girl found dead, eyes removed. No signs of struggle. Beside her was a shattered mirror. Rachel felt her throat close. "I think it's haunted," she whispered. The librarian shook her head. "No, haunted is when something's trapped and angry. This is worse." Rachel looked up. "What is it then?" The woman's voice was thin, tired. "It's hungry." Back at the house, Rachel returned just before sunset. The house seemed darker, heavier. The floorboards groaned louder. The temperature dropped. She was done being afraid. She pulled the cloth off the mirror. Her reflection stared back. No tricks, no shadows, just her. But something was wrong. The mirror version of her had blood on its shirt. Rachel didn't. The lights flickered. The reflection grinned. Then, in a whisper only she could hear, "Trade places." Rachel screamed and stumbled back. The mirror cracked just once. A tiny, thin line split the surface. But behind it, darkness swirled like water. Like a portal, her phone vibrated again. A video this time, from an unknown number. She pressed play with shaking fingers. It was footage of her, in the house, sleeping, then rising, walking to the mirror, smiling, then, in a voice warped and low, "I'm finally out." The final choice. Rachel snapped the phone shut. She rushed to the basement, remembering the old hammer and nails her father used to keep for repairs. She was going to smash the mirror, break the cycle, freak herself. She climbed the stairs again, with purpose. But as she reached the top, the lights went out, and she heard it, laughter, small, childlike, coming from Emily's room. "No," Rachel whispered. "You're gone. You're gone." She opened the door. Emily sat on the bed, legs crossed, holding their mother's old hand mirror. "Did you bring it?" Emily asked. Rachel froze. What? The hammer. Emily stood up. Eyes were black, not empty, full of something old. Something endless. You can break the glass, Emily said, but the truth is already broken. Rachel raised the hammer. You're not her. Emily smiled. Neither are you anymore. Which side are you on? Rachel's breath hitched. Her grip tightened on the hammer. The mirror stood before her, tall, cracked, rippling faintly as though made of water. Her reflection stared back. Wrong. It moved slower. Its smile lingered. Rachel wasn't smiling, and the reflection had no hammer. It whispered again. Set me free. She stepped back. You're not me. The reflection tilted its head, then slowly raised its own hand, though there was nothing in it. But I will be. A flash. Suddenly Rachel was standing in total blackness. No bathroom, no walls, just endless void. She spun. What is this? Where am I? From the dark, a voice called out. Inside, the side you ignored. Shapes began to appear. Faces, dozens of them, all glassy-eyed, hollow, silent, and then Emily, kneeling, crying, bloody. Rachel rushed to her. Emily, it's me. I'm here. Emily looked up. Her face cracked, literally, like porcelain. Why didn't you believe me? Rachel knelt beside her. I didn't understand. I was scared. I thought you were imagining things. Emily's face shattered. Her mouth stretched open into an inhuman scream. From the shadows, hands reached out, grabbing Rachel, pulling her deeper into the void. Flashback. 3 years earlier, the last time they had fought, Rachel had taken Emily's journal and read it aloud, mocking the entries. The mirror watches me sleep. You need therapy, not fairy tales. Emily had cried, screamed at her. You're just like Mom. You don't listen. Rachel had left that night, drove 2 hours back to college, ignored every call for weeks. Then the news came. Emily slipped in the bathroom, head trauma, dead. On arrival, Rachel never forgave herself. Present, inside the mirror, Rachel couldn't move. The hands held her in place as faces surrounded her. Some she recognized, some she didn't. A man with no eyes, a woman with no mouth, a boy who blinked constantly, even though his eyes were sewn shut. A girl who whispered. She lied. Now she. Pay. Rachel thrashed. Let me go. The darkness responded. Tell the truth. What? What you saw? What you ignored? Rachel's heart pounded. Her mouth trembled. I saw her crying. I saw the mirror uncovered. I saw the blood. But I left. I told myself it wasn't real. Silence. Then a door appeared in the blackness. Carved wood. A tarnished brass handle. Nothing else. Rachel stood, slowly. What is that? Emily's voice echoed. A second chance. Or a trap. Rachel reached for the handle. Outside the mirror. Something's wrong, back in the real world. The reflection moved freely now. It looked like Rachel. Sounded like her. But its smile was wider, more confident, predatory. It walked calmly down the stairs, looked around the house, picked up Rachel's phone, opened her contacts, selected Dad, call initiated. When the voice answered, the reflection said sweetly, Hey Dad, just wanted to say, I finally understand what Emily meant. I'm staying a while, okay? And hung up back inside. The door, Rachel turned the handle. The door creaked open too. It's her childhood bedroom, the one she and Emily used to share before their parents died. Except, everything was wrong. The walls were bleeding. The dolls were twitching. The closet door pulsed like it was breathing. She stepped inside. Emily stood by the window, back turned. Is this a memory? Rachel asked. Emily spoke without turning. It's your lie, made flesh. Rachel blinked. What do you mean? Emily turned. Her eyes were mirrors. You didn't ignore me because you were busy. You ignored me because you were afraid I was right. Rachel staggered back. No. Emily pointed to the closet. The first time it came through, you saw it too. You just chose to forget. Memory within memory. Suddenly, Rachel remembered. Age 12. She and Emily were playing dress-up. The closet door creaked open on its own. Rachel had seen something step out. Long, thin, silver eyes. No face. It had reached toward Emily. Rachel had screamed, but their mother had rushed in, slapped Rachel, and told her never to say such things again. She never did. She pretended it didn't happen. Then Emily took the blame when things got worse. Emily took the fear. Rachel took the silence. And now it had come back. Because silence is an invitation. tWatchAlone looked down. A shard of mirror appeared at her feet. Her reflection showed her screaming. Not calm, like she was. A voice said, break the mirror, or let it break you. Rachel picked it up. Her hand bled instantly. The glass cut deep. She stepped toward Emily, but Emily whispered, not me, you. Rachel stared. If she smashed the shard, it would shatter her reflection, the thing that took her place. She raised it, closed her eyes, and swung in the real world. The mirror in the bathroom exploded. The house shook, the lights burst, and the Rachel reflection screamed a horrible, metallic shriek as cracks raced across her skin like glass under pressure. She dropped the phone, fell to her knees, screamed again, vanished. Rachel returns. Rachel awoke in the hallway, back against the wall, covered in cuts, breathing hard, but alive. She ran to the bathroom. The mirror was destroyed. Only fragments remained, but none of them showed any reflection. She laughed, sobbed, collapsed. She had one. Or so she thought. The wrong side. Rachel stared at the closet door, slightly ajar, motionless, harmless. But the message on her phone still glowed. From Emily deceased, you broke the wrong side. Her blood went cold. She got up, slowly, eyes never leaving the closet, and grabbed the nearest object, a heavy mug. She inched forward. The door creaked a little wider on its own. Rachel's heart thundered. This isn't real. It's just trauma. It's my mind playing games. Right. Deep down, she knew better. Inside the closet, she swung the door open in one sharp move. Nothing. Just shoes, hangers, dust. But something glinted in the corner. A shard from that mirror. How the hell? She whispered, reaching for it. As her fingers touched the glass, a jolt shot through her arm. Her vision blurred. Suddenly, the closet wasn't a closet anymore. She was in the old Parker house again, back in the bathroom, in the mirror dash hole, untouched. Except this time, someone else stood in front of it. A stranger's face. It was a girl. Teenager. Pale, eyes wide with fear. Rachel tried to speak, but no words came out. The girl touched the mirror, whispering, I didn't mean to. Then her reflection grabbed her wrist from the other side, dragged her through the glass. Rachel screamed. The world flipped, and she found herself on the other side of the mirror, watching, screaming, but unheard. Prison of glass. She banged on the inside of the mirror. No sound, so only silence. And outside, the girl, now calm, walked away. Another soul had been swapped, crapped. Rachel looked around. The mirror world wasn't dark anymore. It was filled, hundreds, maybe thousands, of people, staring, pounding, some weeping. Some had been there decades. Some weren't human anymore. The hall of Ecosa's little girl approached her. No eyes, just empty sockets. I warned you, she said softly. Who are you? Rachel asked. She tried to leave too, the girl said, pointing to a figure in the distance. Rachel walked closer. Her breath caught. It was Emily, older, worn, pale. Rachel's legs buckled. Emily turned. her eyes watery. You came back? Rachel ran to her, hugging her tightly. I didn't know. I didn't know. Emily's voice cracked. They never do. The rules of the mirror. Emily sat beside her, holding her hand like they used to on stormy nights. You thought smashing the mirror would save you. It doesn't. Rachel wiped her eyes. Then what does? Emily looked toward the center of the glass world, a massive mirror round, ornate, glowing faintly red. The original one, Emily said. That's where it all began. Rachel followed her gaze. If we destroy it, we end it. For good. Everyone goes home. Or no one ever does. The journey begins. Emily guided her through the endless hall of mirrors. Each one showed something. A man watching his sleeping wife, a child walking into traffic, a woman putting a baby to bed, only to see two shadows in the crib. Every mirror, Emily whispered, is a window and a door. The more you look, the more it watches. Rachel stared. This is what you lived with? Emily nodded. You thought I was crazy, but I was just awake. Rachel swallowed her guilt. I'm with you now. They reached the final corridor. One last door dot behind it. The original mirror. The origin Narrated floated above the ground, gold frame, glass as black as ink. Carvings of eyes, mouths, hands all over the edges. Emily approached carefully. It's older than anything. It doesn't reflect light. It reflects intention. Rachel asked, how do we destroy it? Emily pulled out a sliver of their family's mirror, the one from their childhood. It's the key, made from the same glass. If it cuts you, it's a part of you. Rachel took it, but the mirror suddenly pulsed a deep, thudding noise, like a heartbeat bribed from behind them. Whispers rose. She doesn't belong here. This was supposed to trade. Let her go. Take the other. Emily froze. Rachel looked around. Figures in the darkness were forming, and one stepped forward. She was never the sacrifice. Rachel fell not downwards, not upwards, just away. She wasn't screaming. There was no time for sound, just wind, glass, whispers, until dash impact. She hit the ground hard, dust rising around her like ash. She blinked, groaning. Where am I? It wasn't the mirror world anymore. It looked like an old Victorian parlor, grand, decaying, lit only by candles. And in the center of the room stood the original mirror, but this time it was awake. Its surface swirled like black water. Faces occasionally formed in the glass, silent screams, stretched mouths, broken eyes. Rachel tried to move, but her limbs were stiff. Her body wasn't obeying her. It's too late, a voice said softly behind her. She turned. It was Emily, but not the same. Her eyes were darker, her face calm. You should have let me go, Emily said. I was meant to stay, not you. Flashback. A childhood secret, Rachel suddenly remembered. When they were kids, Emily had once said, sometimes I hear a woman whispering at night, saying she wants to trade places with me. Rachel had told her to stop watching scary movies. But that night, Rachel had crept into Emily's room. She had seen the mirror glowing faintly in the dark. She had heard the whisper, too. She had just chosen to forget present. The betrayal. Rachel looked at her sister. What are you talking about? It's quoi? Emily walked slowly toward the mirror. I made a deal. When Mom started seeing things, when she began losing her mind, I begged the mirror to stop. Rachel's mouth dropped open. I offered myself in her place. That's why it let her die fast. That's why it kept me alive this long. Rachel took a step back. Emily's voice cracked. But then you came back, and you broke the mirror. You ruined the deal. The glass trembled behind her. You were never supposed to interfere. Now it wants you. The choice suddenly The room split in two. Literally. On one side, Rachel saw her apartment, bedroom, her bed, her closet, how the moonlight filtering through the blinds. On the other side, she saw a version of their childhood. Home but ruined, covered in vines. Shadows moving behind every wall. The mirror pulsed between them. A voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. A life for a life. A soul for a soul. Choose who stays. Rachel fell to her knees. Emily was crying now too. I never wanted this. I was just a kid. I was scared. Rachel looked at her sister in the mirror. I'm not letting you rot here. We go together. Or it ends now. The final stand. Rachel pulled out the mirror shard. She still carried the one cut from their bathroom mirror. She held it up to the original dot. Emily gasped. Wait, don't. The mirror shuddered. Faces inside it began to scream. The walls cracked. Wind howled. Rachel gritted her teeth and shouted, You took our mom. You tried to take my sister. You're not taking me. And she stabbed the shard into the center of the original mirror. All hell breaks loose. The mirror screamed. It wasn't sound. It was feeling, like metal tearing inside the soul. The glass exploded outward. Shards flying everywhere. Each shard showed a different reality. A woman buried alive. A man scratching his own face off. A child swallowed by a reflection in water. Rachel shielded Emily. The room collapsed, and everything went white. Aftermath. Silence. Rachel opened her eyes. She was lying on the floor of her apartment. The closet door was shut. No mirrors in sight. Emily was gone. She sat up slowly, heart pounding. Was it a dream? Her phone buzzed. A message from Emily. Thank you for freeing me. Her hands shook. She turned toward the hallway. Mirror gone. Only the blank wall remained. She smiled through tears. Maybe it was finally over. Final. Shocking cliffhanger. Part 5 ends here later that night. Rachel sat in bed. She scrolled through old photos, smiled at one of Emily in a Halloween costume, touched the screen fondly, then paused, zoomed in the background of the mirror, and inside it, Rachel, but not smiling, not facing the camera, just staring. Eyes completely black. Don't look too long. Rachel couldn't sleep. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. Her mind kept circling back to the photo, the one where her reflection had black eyes. It wasn't there the last time she looked. She was sure of it. She got out of bed, crept to the hallway, and turned on the light. The mirror was still gone. It's just a plain wall. But something felt off, like the room was holding its breath. One last message. She checked her phone again. The message from Emily still sat there. Thank you for freeing me. Rachel hesitated. Tess, then typed back. Did you really go? No response. She stared at the screen for minutes. Then another message buzzed in. From unknown. You shouldn't have broken it. You should have stayed. She dropped the phone. Her chest tightened. Was someone messing with her? Or was the mirror still watching? The return of the closet. Rachel opened her closet. Same clothes, same shelves, but now on the top shelf, a small hand mirror. Her breath caught. She hadn't seen it before. The glass looked fogged, but faintly glowing, like it remembered her. She reached for it, then paused. I'm not doing this again. She grabbed a towel, wrapped the mirror, and walked it to the dumpster outside. She tossed it in fast and slammed the lid. Done. But as she turned to go, she caught something in the windows, reflections, someone standing behind her. She whirled around. Nothing. Emily single quotes as letter that night. She couldn't sleep again, so she went to Emily's old room, now a spare storage room filled with boxes. She sat down and opened one. Inside were old journals, books, school papers, then a small envelope, yellowed with age, to Rachel. It read. Her heart pounded, hands trembling. She opened it. If you're reading this, the mirror has found you again. I'm sorry. Tried to trap it with me, but it always wants more. Need to remember something important. It doesn't feed on reflection. It feeds on attention. Don't look for too long. Don't listen to what it says. Don't answer when it knocks, okay? If it tries to offer you someone you lost, walk away. I love you. Please leave the house. Tears ran down Rachel's cheeks. She folded the letter, stood up and then heard it. Knock, 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 dot. 3 sharp knocks from inside the closet. The choice returns. Rachel backed away. No, she whispered. Not again. But the knocks came again. Louder. She ran to the front door, flung it open, but the hallway was gone. Instead, she saw her childhood bathroom hold the mirror intact, waiting, and inside the reflection, her mother, alive, young, smiling. Rachel, sweetheart, she said, in the same voice she used when tucking them in. It's okay. You can come home now. Rachel steps back. You're not her. The mother's smile dropped. Don't be ungrateful. We brought her back for you. All you have to do is trade. Rachel's chest rose and fell in panicked breaths. Behind her, the real world twisted. The lights flickered. The floor cracked. The mirror world was pulling again, breaking the cycle, but this time, Rachel stood still. She looked at the reflection. She remembered Emily's words. It feeds on attention. And slowly, Rachel closed her eyes. She turned away. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She just ignored it. And behind her, the knocking became screaming. The hallway howled like a tunnel collapsing. The walls cracked, but she kept walking. She walked out the door, down the street, never once looking back. 3 months later, Rachel had moved in with her cousin 2 towns over. She left everything behind: apartment, furniture, phone. She didn't take a mirror with her, no reflective surfaces at all. She started working at a bookstore, laughed sometimes, slept again, and one morning she walked into the kitchen and saw something new taped to the fridge. A child's drawing, stick figures, 2 girls holding hands, the name Emily scribbled in crayon. She smiled. Her cousin walked in, yawning. Oh, weird. Did you put that up? Rachel shook her head. Nope. Thought you did. They looked at it in silence. Then, quietly, Rachel walked to the drawer, pulled it open, and saw a small hand mirror inside, wrapped in a towel. She stepped back. Final words. She didn't scream. She didn't panic. She walked to the backyard fire pit, lit a match, and dropped the mirror inside. As it cracked and blackened, a soft wind blew past her ears, almost like a sigh. And then, silence. For the first time in years, real silence. The curse was done. Not because she broke the mirror, but because she stopped looking. The end.